Hello, Ted.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, good. And you?
Pretty good.
I think we should be online, but um, I don't know if we are.
I believe so. I got a notification for it.
Yeah, did it started?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like when. Okay, can you introduce yourself to us?
Sure.
Very
Yeah.
soon. Very soon. Sorry, very soon. Another fan.
Yeah. I'm.
Uh,
I'm definitely just a fan. Yeah.
yeah, another fan will join us,
Okay.
and also Paul Linn will join us. So
Awesome.
that's how I wanna do. If possible, not only I and the fans, but I want to bring a superstar and together with the fans, so we can all have a conversation. And okay, sorry about it. Just go ahead and introduce yourself to all of us.
Sure. Absolutely. My name is Ted. I'm 43 years old. I've been only pulling for about 2 years, so I'm still a newbie. Found the sport obviously recently. Uh, just fell in love with it. Grew up doing the barroom stuff. Or the kitchen table stuff and all
Hmm,
of that.
hmm.
But 2 years taking it seriously. Found the club here through Armbet. Thanks to Devin
Uh-huh,
Larrett.
uh-huh,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. I
um,
think that I think Devon created that one, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
So
so that I think helped a lot.
absolutely. And then found out who was near me. Got onto a club and
Mhm.
started pulling. And yeah, I mean, obviously North Carolina has really been killing it lately. You are very well familiarized with one of our guys, Adam Orzinski.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy is just like wall.
Yeah.
The guy is
Yeah.
very strong. Yeah, yeah,
So and then we have an old legendary puller too. His name is Paul Walter. He's
yeah.
yeah. So
He
yeah. So
used to
North
have about like 242 pullers.
yeah.
He used to have many final matches against Jerry Cadoret, but usually he ended up second. He was a top roller, and Jerry was going like this. I
Yeah.
remember in the late 90s. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Paul's been pulling for a while.
yeah. Paul is probably like has been in this sport as long as I have been. I don't know, maybe even before me. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
exactly know.
So so yeah, I wanted to before we even get really rolling on this is just thank you because obviously you're whether you believe it or not, you're a superstar, you're a pioneer, a legend in the sport, and for you to take the time and talk to somebody that like me who's a nobody.
Come on, man. Come on. Just I like it's not. No. I dislike that story
Well, I
about
just
it.
want to say
Like
thank you. I
someone
just want
like
to say
me took
thank you.
time to talk with you or this that. Listen, my friend. Just I don't really care. Like I'm not superstar or something. The if the reason I cannot involve like more, it is because I'm super busy. But about that, like I,
Yeah,
I see like men and men. You understand? There's no superstar or something. As long as we are respectful to each other, everything
absolutely,
is, yeah, this is what it is.
absolutely.
Hello, Paul. It was just 1 second. Paul, Sean told me that Sean, you know Sean, right? From Canada.
Sure. Which one?
Sean, the reason that I said Crowther, his last name, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Crowder, yeah.
Pauline's father, yeah, because I don't say the last name because I don't know if he says Pauline looks like he aged and lost some mess. He's messing with you. Oh yeah, probably that's what that's what he wanted to do. Paul, I just checked. You went to bed probably 5 hours ago only because I said that you were online 5 hours ago, and you wake up. You told me that you were gonna set the
Yeah.
alarm and then they
I
come back
gotta
just to be
I
with
gotta
the
wake
fans. Yeah, you're
I
great.
gotta
You're
wake the
great.
sleep out of my eyes. I sleep probably I bet you probably sleep less than me, but not too much less.
No. I slept longer than you did because time difference. When I wrote to you,
Yeah.
like, yeah, you were still awake after me. Okay, we have okay, Todd and Oleg's love child. I think we have. Hello, Engin. He says, thank you for your super chat. Another one from Todd and Oleg's love child, Paul. Can't wait for you new podcast with Rob Vision Jr. and Douglas. Loved it, he says.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll have some interesting stuff to talk about this week. We just got to figure out which day we're going to do it on.
I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The knowledge and level, IQ level was very high. That one, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
Rob.
Marco.
Hello, Engine.
Marco, is it possible you to turn your phone so that you can have big? Yes. And Marco, can you also introduce yourself to us? You're from England, right?
Yes, I'm from the UK. Yes.
Yeah. I can say that with the accent right away. Yep.
Hello there, brother. You okay?
Yeah. We all are fine. Yeah.
Very, very proud to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm honored. I'm honored to. Yeah, it is good that, because I always see here a name and a message on my other phone that I follow the chat, and it is good that we actually see each other and talk
Yeah.
about arm wrestling. Can you tell us about like your arm wrestling? Are you an arm wrestler or just fan? It looks like you are training. I can see those shoulders and everything. Yeah.
God bless you, brother. Thank you. I've trained for about 10 years now of my life, just in the gym and that. But for 6 years, I've been on arm wrestling. My older brother is a fanatic in training and he loves strength. And we got into arm wrestling because of Devon Larat, Saplenkov. And it was around 6 years ago. And we've watched all the videos. And to be honest, it's the best strength sport in the world. I love all strength sports. I watch strongman every year. I don't really watch bodybuilding. It's not strength. But I watch all strength sports, Olympics, anything, gymnastics, calisthenics, strength, and arm wrestling is just the best test of real strength. And in my family, we love it. We're Italian and Spanish. We really like Gasparini. We love it, mate. Arm wrestling, there's everything. I've got a little bit of an arm there, but I love all the arm wrestlers because they're what I want to be like. They're the athletes. They're like you always say, Engine. Everything is about the athletes. They're the people I love in the sport is all about them. People like you, Paul Linn, Saplenkov, Levan, all of them.
Yeah. And Paul, did you like this? To get together with fans, it's good, huh?
I love it. I love it because I love the platform YouTube brings, especially with the lives where people can have live commentary. But the idea of actually interacting and real time asking your questions with your voice is just a one step closer. And at the end of the day, you guys that are supporting us, you guys really are funding and pushing the sport forward. Hagen's doing the organization, but without the people that actually care to watch, we have nothing.
Thank you, man.
Marco, what's your last name, Marco?
It's a Collie, Colli.
Okay, yeah.
It might say something. Yeah. Does it say something there different? Oh,
just says Marco.
What do you mean?
Oh no, I thought it said something different there. No, my surname is Colli. It means a little mountain in Italian.
Oh, Grillo, you said?
Colli.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Ted, who is your favorite arm wrestler?
It's got to be Devon Larratt.
Listen, there's different weight classes. Brother. There's too many to pick from. But Paul Linn for me is one of my favorites, even though he's new, in my opinion, to arm wrestling. He's such a good personality. I love Todd Hutchins. I love a lot of the original people, but all different weights have their own athletes that I love. If I have to put down to one, I would say Denis Saplenkov because I love the gentle giant, how he is, and his hands and everything he brings to the sport is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I agree. The giant guy can be a monster, but at the same time so gentle to take time to love cats and love dogs. And Ted, how about you? You said Devon Larratt, right?
Yeah, so Devon would definitely be my favorite. As far as North American guys, it would be Devon, then John, then Paul. Believe it or not, I love Paul. I know he's new, but
how can you not love
Paul? I love Paul. The White Orc is just amazing. But as far as Eastern guys, I definitely love people like Kadecha And one of my favorites is Giannis Amalis. I just absolutely love his hand control and the way he does it. And who couldn't love Coach Ray? I mean, come on. But Engen, to be honest, I had to do a lot of catching up on you because I'm more of a super match fan. And when I watched you in the tournament scene, I was just blown away by just your drive and your willingness to just put it all out there. So hats off, man. Like you're as far as tournament puller, you're one of the best.
Used to be good, yeah.
And Manolo's in the chat asked an interesting question to play off of that. Who is your least favorite arm wrestlers?
If we go there, we we will be haters.
Yeah.
Hey, there's got to be villains and heroes.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk
think-
about the things that we like.
Yeah. Much better.
Yeah, it's always better. Yeah. And Marco, have you ever competed in an event?
No.
Do you plan?
Do you know what, mate? I'm going to tell you the truth. To be an athlete, you have to be obsessed with the sport, as in time. I have 2 children. I have a job. I'm limited to my time. I admire the athlete. That's why I admire it so much, because for me to give up everything and do what they do is just, it's unbelievable. When I was young, I'm not saying I'm old because I'm not, I'm 33, but when I was younger, I would have been dedicated to the sport much more, and I was much bigger and much stronger. But as I've grown up, I've just had to watch it more and love it from the sidelines, and that's what's happened to me. So no, I don't compete, but I just love watching. It's just everything to watch it, mate.
And you, Ted?
Yeah, I've had some super matches in the last 2 years. I've been to 2 different tournaments. I'm going to be going to Carolina Carnage the beginning of June, and I'm going to be going to the North Carolina State Championships the end of August. And I don't know how I'll do at those big ones, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm dropping weight. I'm pretty proud of the fact that arm wrestling has given me a chance to turn my life around. November 8th of last year, so only about 4 or 5 months ago, I was 270 pounds and very, very out of shape, and fatty liver disease and the whole nine. And now I'm 235, as I said here today, and I'm stronger, I'm faster, definitely healthier. Yeah, definitely healthier. So and I'm on my way down to about the 220 to 210 mark, and we'll see where I go after that. But yeah, man, just doing the small stuff, the local stuff. If I had found it 20 years ago, my goal would be to be on a stage with you, but that's not going to happen, but I'm okay. I'll pay for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. And
how old were you when you found it, Ted?
I'm 43 now. I found it when I was 41.
Guess what, buddy? I'm 42.
Yeah, well,
I found it at basically 35, 36. You got time.
Well, hey, you never know, right? One of these days, maybe. One of these days.
Paul, do you follow the chat? What Sean wrote about you?
Yeah.
You just
I'm replying back to him.
Yeah. You are his least favorite.
Yeah.
You are awesome. Yeah. Paul Linn for president, GB19 says. Yeah. Anyways,
the Carolina Carnage tournament's a big one, man.
Yeah.
That's one I was hoping to get to a couple years back. That's a good one.
Yeah, Mike Bianchi is putting that on, and it's just, he's just a sick puller himself, and I had to represent Carolina Rollers. I've talked to you before, Paul. I've interviewed you last year. I don't know if you remember, with a guy named Donnie and stuff like that. But yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, Paul, how is the preparation?
Good. I mean, I got to go and do some really good after pulling at the big Winter Blast tournament. We huge tournament, a lot of super heavyweights. I pulled until about 3:34 in the morning. I feel really good. No aches and pains, and I got some good horsepower on my arm. So
good.
Yeah. I think that it, of course, it's not my business, but you need to focus more on specific
Mhm.
pull in instead of like a lot of guys. Just my opinion. Like I'm like it's not my business, it's not my place, but your opponent, like would be great if you would be training with Dave Chaffee, if he would control you and then you would be just applying as
Right.
much as you want. Like, of course he's stronger, but if he doesn't beat you and then controls you, that kind of pressure that you will have probably more than your
Right.
next opponent. Yeah.
I'm hoping to be able to, like, Rob and I are gonna set something up in New York. We're hoping to be able to get JP out there. It's just tricky because Dave's about 5 hours from me. So
Yeah. How about Jerry? Jerry is closer to you.
No, Jerry's further. Jerry's further up north.
Oh, okay.
But we're trying to get everybody together at the New York qualifier and maybe one other time with Rob.
Oh yeah. Let's see how it will be. Let's see. It will be like the qualifiers. I think that will be very tough one. I don't know who will be. When is the California qualifier? Today or next week?
I think next week. I'm losing
I think
track.
it's next week. I think it's next week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so Marco, what do you want to see in arm wrestling world more than like what we have or different than what we have? As a fan, what would you wish?
Thank you.
I
I
mean,
think
okay, we may not be able to do every
Yeah.
wish come in reality, but I would like to hear at least, if something we can do or not. Yeah.
I'm telling the honest truth here. I think Engine, you've done the best thing. King of the table and East versus West is what we really needed. When you look back, it was all tournaments. I mean, the WAL done well, but the WAL was more of a show-off thing, in my opinion, more of a just to get entertainment. But for me, East and West is very serious. It's real out there. It's proper king of the table. It's very. I think this is what we need in the sport. More of this. More real super matches that actually make sense. Two people that have made not a rivalry, but we know where they are and we know the strengths of people. And now we can put them together in tournaments like yours. I think this is one of the best things that's happened. I think arm wrestling is one of the. Also, for me, what I want to see more is more of this. In the world at the moment, it's all becoming woke. I'm sorry to say it, but it is. And arm wrestling isn't. It's something that's very manly. It's something that's very strong. It's something that appeals to people like me that want the manly part of life back, where the man has to take care of things and be the strong person. And I think arm wrestling needs to show this. It needs to show what the male is. And how we are and what our personalities are like and what strength is and how we respect each other. But we still have to be strong and we still have to be friendly and we still have to do what we have to do.
This is how it's happening. You see that, all those guys are, trust me, they are very serious. They are very serious. They just train so serious. Yeah, when they go table, everything is, you see how intense. But once the match is over, everyone hugs each other. They just joke with each other. They eat together. Everything like this is. But that moment at the competition is, you just can't get any more serious than what it is. And you, Ted, what are your wishes in arm wrestling world?
To be honest, I second a lot of that. I think that WAL did pretty well. I think that the pads, I think that the 7x9 pads were a mistake. I do agree with Devin. If you're going to add it to the back, then you need to add it to the front. What you did was perfect. You added 1 centimeter all the way around. So if you're going to do it all the way. Don't just do it in one direction, because then you artificially prop up certain types of pullers. And you make it not really unfair, but you make it stacked against somebody else. So East versus West is definitely amazing. King of the table is definitely amazing. If WAL did come back, I would love to see a difference in the way they did things, as far as not so much the rule set, but as far as like the pads and stuff like that, because I think all of you are migrating towards a quote unquote looser rule set, because you understand that there needs to be a certain amount of show quality along with a certain amount of regulation to the match. And that, to me, is the direction that it needs to go. And hats off to you guys for doing it and having the guts to do it, because I know that, the regulating systems are all like, no, it's got to be this way. And for you guys to kind of say, we're going to, kind of go a little bit looser with it, but still keep the regulation there. That really took a lot of balls, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Can I quickly say something there? Well, I forget. Well, I feel something that I have to say that's not negative. I wish we could improve on is how the athletes talk to the referees sometimes. So, in my opinion, when I watch the sport, I don't want to see 30 minutes of arguing with the ref and saying his elbow's off. And for me, that's the referee's job. I like watching the arm wrestling, but when they take half an hour to set up, for me, that's the only thing that puts me that I have to say negative about some of the matches where. I can remember some like Devon and Brutnick. It took so long to actually start the match.
Yeah, but that's part of the fight, though.
Can be improved on. I don't know how. Don't get me wrong. I don't know. You're the people that do it, but something like that, I think they shouldn't be so disrespectful to the referees themselves. Just let them. If you're strong and you're good enough, you're going to win. So I don't see why that's such a big deal in some matches. But anything other than that is fine.
I understand. Yeah, I thank you for sharing your opinion bravely. It's just this is why we are here. You can do the same, any kind of criticizing directly about me too, as long as we are respectful to each other when we are sharing our opinions. And do you guys have any question? Let's start with Ted. Ted, do you have any question for Paul or to me, whatever you guys like? You guys are at this show, you guys are the real guests, so it's your show. Yeah.
No, I appreciate that, Paul. I would just kind of bounce off of what Engin had said. I mean, you said your prep is going well and all of that, and I've talked to you a little bit online, but I kind of wanted to get a face-to-face answer on this. In your last match, and we're not going to go into what happened and all that, but in your last match, when you committed, and I saw that out of you, you had to feel that you were finally in the match. And how did that feel to you? Like, because to me, just from a fan's point of view, I was on the edge of my seat screaming because I said, holy crap, this dude's got it. Like he's got more than enough for a world-class hook puller, and he's there. Now that he committed and put his mind behind it, it was there. So how did you feel when that happened? Obviously, we hope that he gets a speedy recovery, and we never want to see anybody injured, but how did you feel when you finally realized, oh shit, I've got a hook for this dude?
Yeah. Well, when you look at this stuff, so like, especially as a newer puller, you're trying to break down like, okay, let me break down this puller, this style, and what I have to do. I'm talking to all these other people, looking at all the videos, and when you have to have 3 rounds of 3 separate plans, and the first 1 or 2 doesn't go the way you like it, right? And it looks one-sided because you're going in the worst lanes you could go. It's tough to switch to the next plan, So like, all right, the outside moves don't work and it looks one-sided. To come into the 3rd round and say, okay, time to full commit to what I probably should have done in the first round, takes a little bit of mental fortitude to, but once you get that stop and you feel it, like, all right, now I'm here. It's tricky because I got it and I felt it and I started to surge and then it was over.
Yeah.
So the emotion that I'm feeling during that was like excitement and then immediate disappointment.
Yeah.
So it was that match was a huge like emotional roller coaster for me, especially afterward. So
to me, I just got to say, man, like you really do embody a true champion. Like you are fierce fighter. There's obviously no taking a step backwards in anything you do, but you also are so humble and so gracious to all of your opponents. And I mean, obviously you can make that opposite with somebody like Devon. I think Devon is misrepresented because I think he, everybody sees the fight that he goes through, to get what he wants. But see, he's a combat guy, right? That's the combat starts before you even step to the table. But anybody who's ever been around Devon knows that outside of that, he's just like you, humble and relaxed and down to earth and an amazing dude to be around. And you guys are the spear for arm wrestling, in my opinion. Like, you guys are what we all should be striving to be like. So thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You know, back to Marco's point, it was very well articulated, and hopefully it didn't get missed. We live like in a society where the natural progression of this planet has been to kind of squelch out masculinity in a way, or make our youth feel like, you know, this isn't that important. It's not important to be strong. It's not important to forget about what it is to be quote unquote a man and do manly type things. I think that's such a mistake. I think it's not fair to kids to change what their perceived identity could and should be, but rather what we should be doing is focused on how to do that and teach kids to be men with those good qualities too, rather than constantly focusing on the negative sides of masculinity. There's a way to go about things, and being masculine is not a bad thing if you do the right things with it. And Marco's right. I mean, the sport, it's such a gentleman's sport. Like, there's a lot of trash talk and stuff leading up, and of course it's combat on the table, but like, you're 100% right. The switch goes on and the switch goes off after the match. And it's, for me personally, it's a huge release. Like, if I don't have those combat, like, competitive moments, that's when the negative sides of me come out.
Yep.
So
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I used to be an amateur fighter, so I had to do the same exact thing where, you know, you walk up and you're humble, and then it's go time, you know, and you're right. If you don't get those releases, that's when the demons start to creep up, and that's when the shadows start to take over the brain. So yeah, you got to be,
you can
masculinity.
You can ask my wife, if I can't go to the gym and I can't compete, like, she's dealt with me through football and everything, so she's known all the phases. The times where I don't have competition is where, you know, she's like, everybody thinks this guy's nice. He ain't nice, you know?
Yeah.
It was tough. My buddy had to build me a gym so I didn't go insane, you know?
Yeah.
And you, Marco, any questions?
Yeah. I'd like to say to Paul Linn, and after I'd ask Engine Terzi as well, to Paul Linn, I would ask, as the athlete, because you're here and you're the one I should ask, is basically, I want to see more of you, Paul Linn, in my opinion, because when I look at arm wrestling, I'm a big fan of YouTube. So I watch, obviously, I subscribe to Engine, I subscribe to Devon, I subscribe to True Power, you know, all the channels. And to see people like Paul Linn train, and to see where he is, and to become more of a fan of Paul Linn. I love Paul. I'm not saying I'm not, but there's not enough for me. I'm not saying he should do it. I don't know how it should be done, but I think there isn't enough of certain athletes. And I was going to ask Paul Linn if he could put some more, maybe upload some videos of you, what you do. And I know there's tournaments of yourself training, but actually see your strength and how you act and what you're like is really good to see. I'd love to see more of that in the arm wrestling, because only the main characters in arm wrestling really get their channels going and see what they're like. But people like you, mate, you would have so much more fans. I'd like to see more of you, to be honest, mate.
When I started my YouTube channel years back, I was just kind of documenting my process. It was terrible, you know? And then I switched the focus towards training, because you know, as a younger arm wrestler, that like newer, I wanted to be able to like share the things that I didn't know early. So if you go back in my channel, I have a metric ton of training stuff. Same as my Instagram. The problem that I'm facing right now, not problem, but you know, with going to East versus West and really having like a focal point now, not jumping to tournaments, but having these specific dates that I'm training for, it's made it like my training sessions are so full now, and it's tough for me to capture those things and like shoot like a decent quality video and actually get my workout. But yeah, I've had a couple people request some more training videos, which I'm going to do my best to get some, hopefully in this preparation for the Sasha match. But if you haven't seen some of the stuff, my Instagram and YouTube, if you go through it, there's all kind of crazy stuff, and you can see how dumb I was early. You know, some things out.
Yeah, well, that's just like anyone, mate. You ain't different there. Everyone starts somewhere. So yeah, man, that's brilliant.
It's trial and error.
And what about your faith, Paul Linn? Are you a god man? Do you believe in God?
Absolutely, very spiritual.
That's another thing about the sport I really like. Everyone seems to have a moral thing about it. And when you were talking there to Ted about the masculine, I don't even see it as there is a negativity to masculine. They want us to think there is, in my opinion, but there isn't. To be strong is the way to look after your family. If you're weak, you can't. If your mind is weak, you can't look after your wife when you're in a problem, or you always have to be strong as a man. It doesn't matter what situation it is. Even if you have to be strong and walk away, it's still a strength to do that. There's no weakness in a real man, you know. And when you believe in God, in my opinion, God has blessed us to be men. It's something to be grateful about. To that,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is actually an offence to God, to the Almighty, why we would do that. And God is in all of us, so we're just disrespecting ourselves if we disrespect who we are. So as a man, I think even if you're not genetically blessed, people say these things, but at the end of the day, you can always be strong. And being strong is down to effort. It's down to, even if you lose your next match, I'm not saying you will, it's about being as strong as you can, because that's what arm wrestling is all about. And I wanted to say, Paul, that led to my last question. I believe that Sasho, in my opinion, I follow arm wrestling a lot, mate. So I've watched all your matches, and for me, Sasho is going to be the hardest match. I'm talking about East and West because I know you've won them all. I'm not talking about, because I know you've lost certain matches, but to me, they were different style. This is professional East and West, and I think this is going to be very hard. I've watched Sasho a lot, and he's no joker. Do you know what I mean? He's such a speed, power athlete, and short, strong, quick. And I think you need to be prepared, bro. You need to be ready for this, because I want you to win, to be honest. Ted was saying he respects all the Eastern Europeans, and I do, mate. My favourite's Denis Saplenko. I love him. But for some reason, I always want the West, because obviously I'm from the West. It's someone I back. So I really want you to win, mate. You're doing really well, and keep going, bro. You really got to do this, because after this, I don't think you'll have many competitors, mate, because he's one of the best.
So yeah, you're spot on, and he poses a unique style. So I'm doing my best to, you know, formulate a game plan and train specific for that. So in my mind, when you talk about like strength and like how you look at the things, like there's things that are physical strength, there's things that are mental strength. But when I look at this match, I'm not competing against Sasha Andreev. I'm competing against this guy. So what do I do for these next weeks? How do I push myself harder? How do I eat cleaner? How do I sleep better? I need to bring the best version of me. If I beat myself in preparation, I'll leave it all on the table and be at peace with whatever happens. So that's the only way I can look at it. Things are going well.
You will be the winner as long as you do your preparation as good as possible, and you perform at the table mentally, spiritually, physically as good as possible. The result, trust me, is not the most important thing, because you did your best, and this guy, your opponent, will do his best. One needs to win. There cannot be two winners in one match. So you are only responsible to do. So you will not have any regret that, oh, I should have done, you know, I should have slept better, I should have trained better, I should be more brave, I should just believe more, I should do this, I should do that. As long as you don't have any regrets with your own preparation, everything is okay. There is no human being on this earth that his hand didn't come to the pin pad. You know, there is no one that who just pronated didn't turn, who just wrist wasn't bent, who just, you know, arm wasn't just open like this. You know, every human being tasted that feeling. So just
I'm so thankful for this match, because it is as challenging as it is, right?
Yeah.
And for the people that don't know Sasha, like the people that maybe, you know, haven't dug in from out here in the West and don't know and think that I'm the favorite, like no. But I'm thankful for it, because it gives me another opportunity to push myself a little bit further. If I'm the favorite, can I mentally generate the capacity needed to go hard enough to be a better version
Listen,
of myself.
Paul Linn, you haven't lost a match in East and West. So in East and West, you're the favourite. But just from watching Sasho before, I've seen him beat some big people. Like, he is over strong for what he is. I don't know if you're the favourite. Engine would know them things probably better.
No,
but
I'm definitely not.
in my opinion, your confidence should be very high. You've never lost in East and West. You're the king there, mate. He needs to be in fear of you. You need to show that confidence for sure.
Yeah, I don't want him to be scared of me. I want him to be sitting on the couch right now drinking a beer.
Exactly. Exactly. Who cares about Paul? Let me just kick back and drink a beer. Yeah. Exactly.
He trains on the weekends.
No. Yeah, Paul's over there just repping out 2-a-days, and no, drink a beer. Sasha, just go back, drink a beer. You're good.
Did you guys realize that 5 minutes ago, Paul Linn just left the seat and come back?
Yeah.
He was
Yeah, he was training.
he was, yeah.
We all work on the film, Devon style.
Yeah, hey. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
will tell you, like, just trust me. Human beings, they will not force themselves to their limits if they are not challenged. That is a fact.
Well,
You need to be challenged. And if you are challenged, if there is a bigger goal, trust me, you will not get any better if there are a group of people that you compete all the time and you are much better than them. You will never get any better. Because I mean, you don't need to. You are better. What can you do more? So that is why I will tell you guys that American arm wrestling, compared to 30 years ago, especially under light heavyweight category, went down about the level. This is a fact. No need to get offended, because they did not have the competition with the rest of the world.
Yeah,
I said this many times. Professional arm wrestling was all about this super heavyweights mostly, and maybe some heavyweights. So when it is like this, they did not have enough offer to be part of the international competition, which is very high level. But the guys from Eastern nations, World Arm Wrestling Championships, European Championships, that competition really made them high level, because they go pull each other, they learn something, go back, train, come back, and then every year they just get like crazy level. It's not because the North Americans are like lightweights or the heavyweights, any weaker human beings than these ones, but they were not part of the competition. That is the thing. While the super heavyweights from North America had offers, because it's professional, because people only watch the super heavyweights, so professional offers. So they have been kind of part of this competition. But now, after the East versus West, we will try to bring even more and more. So more they see the challenge, more they will force themselves. This is what I believe. I don't know if you agree or not.
All ships rise in the tide, and you're exactly right. I mean, you really are. We got lazy. we got lazy, and now the competition is telling us that we're paying for it. So we're rising to the challenge. So there's no offense there, Engin, at all, because I think you're spot on. You're spot on.
I'm just trying to be helpful, I'm just, because if you think that there is no problem, everything is okay, trust me, you will never get better. You need to first admit that there is something going wrong. We need to fix this. We need to find the reason, and then we need to do whatever necessary, and then everything will be fine. You see, Douglas came on, Adam Warzinski came on, it's getting better and better. Adam Warzinski was like, even from his first event, like he won, but he's incredible. But Paul, I don't know, my opinion, I think Paul, since he competed the first time here, Paul got better and better.
Yeah,
just my
absolutely.
opinion. I don't. Absolutely. Paul would know better, but So it is, I can say that it's helping.
Yeah, back to what we talked about with WAL and everything. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a big supporter of WAL. I enjoyed that, but the big knock on it was we were getting the best from the West.
Yeah.
We were getting to test ourselves against the guys that we could go see in a local tournament too. I mean, the production was great, but we never got the opportunity to measure ourselves against like the best in the world. So this is the opportunity to do that. But in reality, to what Engin's saying, it's not comfortable, taking a match. Everybody thinks you're going to lose, and then listening to all the comments from all over the world telling you can't do it, and then getting on a plane for 14 hours and then, cutting weight. It's extremely uncomfortable, but there's no growth without uncomfortability. If you don't welcome in those challenges, how do you ever expect to get better?
Without sacrifice, there's no growth.
Versus West has leveled me up, not only as a puller, but as a competitor and as a person. Is it all sunshine and rainbows? No. But at the end of the day, I'm becoming a better person. So I'm thankful.
I think that being too comfortable is the enemy of a man, just
It
the
is.
comfort just makes you relax and just, you don't push your limits. And
makes you lazy, makes you fat, makes you unwell.
Yeah.
Comfortability
is one step towards the grave. That's why you see people retire, and then from their job that was their passion their whole life, and a year later you find out they passed away.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like soldiers or fighters or anything like that. Like guys that are super physically active, and they have to be for their jobs. And, of course, they have to be, like we're talking about, men. They have to be alpha men. And then as soon as they no longer have to be anymore, they get comfortable. And in a lot of ways they've earned it. So I'm not going to say they haven't, but I'm just saying at that point, in a lot of ways, they get lazy and they get comfortable. And then next thing you know, they look like I did in November. So yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
But
If you don't,
all they do is sit down. Look at them.
Yeah, if you don't mind, Engin, I do have one question because I'm gonna have to get rolling here pretty soon because I got to go to work. But my question is do you ever see yourself doing an East versus West, maybe more, maybe in America? Like a Las Vegas or something like that.
I would do that. And Paul, we talk about it. Yeah, we can do that.
Because I would love to see that personally. Like I don't travel, but I would get out to Las Vegas to see that.
Yeah. We can do. We have been talking with Paul. We can do that, but we need to calculate everything.
Yeah.
Very good.
Right. Yeah. So, Engin, let's talk quick about what your concerns are, like the difference between cost at in Istanbul and the United States.
Cost and the team, just like here, like an experienced team, just doing everything. You understand? And like me to go somewhere, even like when we talk about Las Vegas. None of us is from Vegas. You understand that everything needs to be done there. We don't have an experienced team over there that will just, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about only organizing an event. I'm talking about production level. Right. Yeah. So not exactly the same thing. I'm sure we can do that too, but we need to make sure that, everything is okay. And the second thing, we need to make sure that, as you said, the cost of the event will not be, at some level that we cannot cover. Yeah.
Right. So I guess, this could, who knows if this is ever going to come to fruition, but if it's going to, I would kind of, reach out to the arm wrestling community. And DM me if you know a really good production crew, or you have a line, somebody in your warm market, or you want to be involved in this effort, maybe sponsor us or something. I'm not the type of guy that goes and chases sponsors, but this is a huge opportunity. If you're a fan of the sport and you know somebody who's in the production world, or you have a line, or you know more than I know, please shoot me a DM and give us some ideas, and we'll keep seeing what we can see. But I think that would be awesome. I thought
Yeah,
that
yeah.
you were going to ask when Engen is going to be competing.
Well, no, I do. Yeah, I want to see Engen back on the table, and I'm following, kind of from the shadows here, where where his rehab is going and all that. And Engen, to kind of bounce off of what Marco said, I would love to see what you're doing to rehab yourself and get back in the game and come back from what some of us would consider a serious injury, to come back and get back on the table and to see your dominance, because bro, you are one fierce competitor, and we all respect you, and you're a legend, and we'd love to see you back on the table. We really would.
I don't know if I have the same spirit, I don't know. I don't know.
I think you do.
I don't know. I don't know if I can. I mean, sometimes, over something, when I get aggressive, I think I still have it,
You don't get a nickname. You don't get a nickname like the Enigma of Rage without being able to turn it on when you want it.
Yeah. But the thing is, if you really want to be like at the level to push your limits that much, you really need to put your goal in a place that's so important for you. You understand? So important for you. So at the moment, I really do not know if I can do that, because like my mind and heart is divided,
Yeah.
with serving arm wrestling as an organizer, and this, like, let's be, honest, just like show me an elite physical combat sport top level guy that can do all the things I'm doing to organize East versus West, and in the same exact event he's competing there. You understand? So
Yeah,
I mean,
fair point. It's a fair point, but you have to,
maybe if it was a regular tournament or something, it's okay. But this one is a little bit different, and this has so much stresses. If you have all those ready sponsors and everything, that everything is secured. You understand? But here it's all up to like how like if the event will be okay or not. See, I saw a video that Devon shared, and then he's talking about this.
And these events, one part of the video, Devon said some words that touched my soul.
Listen.
And these events, guys, we are so lucky. We have never had East versus West. Our wrestling has never been on this level. At a high level, at the top of the world, we've never had the top pros, the very best from East and West coming together consistently all throughout the year. So it's a very special time for our sport. One that we should know might not necessarily last forever.
So he's talking about that. He's saying that what we have today is not necessarily last forever,
Yeah.
And then some people wrote that is Devon quitting arm wrestling, or if East versus West is ending or something. Neither of them.
No.
Because I see that people are talking. It's neither of them. What he meant, in my opinion, he said that we need to appreciate what we have and push forwards, to what we started, and then so that this can be permanent. We need to use this opportunity. This is what I understand, because Devon also knows that I met Devon in 2002 Niagara Falls event. At that time, there was an event, and there was an event that the organizer couldn't pay all the prize money. He gave only 1/3 of it. And I came from somewhere else to Canada to compete. And I get a little bit upset. And Devon said, okay, we don't know each other, but you look like a good guy. We can go my home, we can train together. I met him that way, in 2004, I saw him in a Chalice tournament in, I think, Washington or something, that was Superstar Showdown, where he really troubled John. And then I was like, wow, the guy is good, And then we had a Northeast message board Kurt. His name is Kurt, but I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Hovach, or I don't know. He owned that thing. There was a forum, arm wrestling forum, that the heart of arm wrestling was beating there on daily basis. Imagine a forum that John Berzing, Rambat, Neil Pickup, Igor Mazurenko, Sharon Remes, Cobra Rose, Dave Patton, and Alan Fisher, Cleve Dean, rest in peace, and all those legends. Imagine a place that we are daily chatting. You understand? That was like that. But we were like a family. But arm wrestling wasn't like this. We were in our small world. Just nobody knew about each other. Nobody really took us seriously. That's the fact. So when Devon said that arm wrestling has never been like this, he is not bullshitting. Whatever he's saying all from the heart. When John tells me that he's happy with what I am doing, this is arm wrestling is like our baby, our like flower that we planted, long time ago. Of course, there were many people before us, at least before me. And then, but the flag race, when you do Olympics, you hold the flag and so we can only be one of them. So now we came to a point that like we were dreaming. So that's what Devon is talking about. This is my dream too. When people says, Engin, you do great, this, I really appreciate what people think, but that is not the point. It's not like the point is not, I did it. It's not point. The point is, we need to bring arm wrestling to a level that it deserves. At that point, after that point, I can also quit. It's okay, as long as I know that it's in the safe. But as of now, it may not sound humble, but me organizing this level events, I kind of feel that the arm wrestling is in safe hands, at least in what I do.
Couldn't agree more. Agree more.
So that until I see that it is safe and then I can just go and rest, and someone can continue. But I really have this opportunity. I'm gonna serve it as long as community sports and people like you guys support, and this is how we will go. So this is what I wanted to say, that Devon didn't mean that East versus West quitting. Probably he was talking about those piracy and other kind of things that is harming pay-per-view. I
think what he meant is everything doesn't last forever. Some things might happen. You might die. Something might happen to you tomorrow, and that's it. You never know.
Yes.
Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's just say that right now. Let's hope that doesn't happen.
It will continue. Continue.
It's all lining up now, mate.
It will continue, but maybe not this passionately. Because I was there long before East versus West. So what I'm just saying that everything is in it. It's not all about the business. Okay, Paul. So Paul, you and Sasha, before that, maybe let's start from there. Like, how confident are you? I know you love to play underdog.
Yeah, that's where I want to be. But whether I'm the underdog or not, there's only a few things that really affect my confidence, and a lot of those things are the intangibles, like overall health or injuries or things like that. Those are the things that nag in the back of my brain. If I'm having an elbow issue or this bicep tendon issue. But as I said, I mean, the good Lord has blessed me. I'm very healthy right now.
Good.
Like,
good. That's good. So make sure that on May 6th you are in same condition.
That's the plan.
So don't panic, don't push too much, and then just make sure that don't go there.
I've switched some things up. Especially because I've had shoulder issues since football, and I still like the total body strength, but I've switched some focuses up as far as rep ranges to try and ensure that, But to me, those are the things that have a negative effect on confidence, because to me, those are things that are outside of my control. So as far as confidence level, I'm controlling what I can control. I've been blessed to have a couple high-level arm wrestlers and even Eastern arm wrestlers give me some advice on some specific styles of training for this match, which I
So
am
you are
putting
saying
in.
that there are some betrayers in the Eastern team. Who are they?
No, just,
I
just
just-
buddies who I'm asking
He
questions.
said-
Like, how do you guys train? Like I'm saying, how do you train? Like, how do you guys train for, this style of hook pulling? Like, what are some strategies? And I've gotten like, it's like you said, Angie, my training for this match is much less about just going and pulling and pinning people and stuff. My week to week training has become not practice, but actual training, like reps, holds, durations,
Nice.
like sometimes less intensity, but to total failure,
Right.
And it's interesting because I pushed myself really hard in some training, like training methodology that I haven't done before, and left like dead from practice and expected the next day to be really sore in the inner elbow. And I'm not.
So you're doing a lot more isometrics then, huh?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. When you don't have those pressures under your control and increase, then at the table you are having that pressures not under your control, and that's why you get an injury. You need to make a base under your control, and then you understand you need to make sure that like you are not only training at the table with those things, and some unexpected things will be eliminated if you do that under your control with the weights and rubber bands and other things.
Yep. I'm trying to work a bunch of different things in, but I mean, it's been fun
Gotta do a
because
thumb.
I'm changing some things up. Yeah.
Oh, that's finished.
Yeah. Don't believe in everything Devon says.
No,
Devon is
no,
a good
no.
guy, but
No.
that is good training. Trust me, I do that with the tennis ball. I
Yeah.
do that with tennis ball. Yeah. Yeah, not that one, but the bigger one. Tennis ball.
Yeah,
do,
I've got one of those too.
Yeah, not a new one. New ones are so hard, but I
Yeah.
have a friend. He's a tennis trainer, and then he has the old balls that they don't use it anymore. So I tell him, he gives me in a bag, 100 of them. From there, you can find any level of
That's awesome. That's awesome.
hardness. Yeah. So I do this and I do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do with 2 fingers, but never with 4 fingers. Anyway, so let's go with our predictions quickly. And so, Marco, do you know every guy from the East versus West 7, or you are not familiar with someone?
Bacho Saginashvili is very new. Don't really know about him. I've watched one video on him, big hands, 18. So I don't know much about him, but, I know basically all of them, yes.
Okay, so let's start with that match since you said that. What do you expect from that match? Adam Orzinski and Bacho Saginashvili.
I mean, for me, Adam, he's won my respect how he won that match last against Boadir, isn't it? What he said as well, and how confident he was. I think, in my opinion, not knowing much about Adam, because like I said, there's no training of him, there's nothing. I only know the match he had that one time. I'm going to say that Adam's going to win because I've never seen Bacho, I've never seen him, but I'm going to say 60-40 for Adam.
And you, Ted, how do you see? Adam is your guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course, I'm rooting for Adam. He's a hoss and all of that, but I would say that's fair assessment. I would say 60-40. It's definitely it's definitely going to be a tough match. It's not going to be an easy walk. If I will tell you this, if Adam does what I call the stare and dare with him, I'm going to be thoroughly impressed. I mean, where you're just sitting there, just like, yeah, go ahead, move me. Just go ahead, please move me. If he does that, I'm just going to be thoroughly impressed.
Some people think that this is just like being too prideful, to hold this. No, I disagree with that. These are all unique characters, in our sport. These like beautiful, different cultures. We are careful about dealing with each other, but I don't see anything disrespect that they control in, like what Devon does is a little bit, pushing limits. But
yeah, I agree. Man.
And how do you guys see Prokopchuk versus Douglas?
Oof.
Oh man, Prokopchuk is one of my young lightweight favourite man. I want to go with Daniel, but Doug Elrich looks so good up against Ray. It's a very hard. It's another 60-40 for me.
I think it's actually for me. I honestly think Prokopchuk is the favorite there. I do think his defensive holds are better than, than our guys' offensive pushes. I don't know. I hate saying anything against the USA, but I honestly think that Prokopchuk is the favorite there. I think his defensive holds are just too good. I really do.
That's why I said 60-40 to him, because he's on another level.
Yeah.
Paul, do you realize the knowledge level of the fans?
Yeah, no, I'm telling you. It's just like new arm wrestlers coming in. I got a guy to come in after a couple months and show me how to arm wrestle.
The way that they explain the reasons and everything, then they are like, wow, they may be different than ours, but still they have a logic behind, what they are saying, I'm not saying that your opinions about these two matches are different, but in the later predictions, you may be different. But I see that you guys are reasoning everything very well, I'm impressed, Wow, it's good day for arm wrestling. Good days.
Daniel's static strength looks unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah. And I mean, his whole
arm is shocked.
And Marco, what he can do right here is just incredible.
It's shocking, mate. And how I just love him. He's like I said, he's one of my favorites, mate. I can't wait to have his card when it comes. I can't wait.
Well, just to give you guys like some affirmation of what you're saying, like I talk to Doug every day, and in preparation, we're going back and forth. And a lot of what you guys are identifying is what he's identifying. I think the biggest factor in this match is Doug's level, and it's the same thing. It's Doug versus Doug in this. His ceiling's really high. I'm really interested to see the version he brings, because what we saw against Ray was not the finished package.
Oh, no.
That's what'll make this interesting. If you take the guy that showed up against Ray and you make odds for Daniel, it's lopsided. But if you take the potential that Doug could bring, now we're closer to the 50-50 range.
Yeah.
The biggest I said, like, most important thing is you guys are teaming up there. You guys, when I invited the guys from West, first time and second time, they were like independent republics, they were just representing themselves. Now I see something different coming there. Everyone is, what to do, how to help each other, go there and kick ass, and that part that I see that the team spirit, and I think it is really helping. And I think that from one side, it is disadvantage, like US is just one country, while they're facing guys from East, from different countries. It looks like disadvantage. Yes, it is. But from other side, all these guys are really supporting each other, while the opponents are from separate countries. They don't even have any connection with each other, except probably Georgia. Georgia. Small country and a lot of tough guys.
And Latvia. Those Latvians are.
These are
I'm just saying that they don't. Right now, they're not part of it.
Right.
It's this event, so I'm just talking about this specific event. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Without that, Engin, we're not going to be able to compete. Like in the back of my head, the goal still is to to like win one of these as a team. Like if you're giving it point scores, we want to win the damn thing. Like it's like a wrestler trying to go out and score a pin for his team. We want to do it, but without that team camaraderie, we are always going to be underdogs. How do we have a chance if we don't have those intangibles? And for me, it's like it's natural. It's just organic, like to be there and I look at like Rob Vigent. I've talked to Rob so much. He battles some of these things through arm wrestling where he gets jaded and goes away. A lot of that has to do with him even saying like, I've gone to tournaments in the United States and I feel like 90% of the room's just waiting for me to lose so they can cheer. I was like, imagine if you get a Rob, who's trained for 8 to 10 weeks and also has this support system of people who genuinely want to help him and want him to win. What does that guy look like?
Yeah.
And also, this is only a beginning. Hopefully, the fans will continue supporting, and this dream will be many more years, and then it will continue. Maybe we should do even the team trophies or something, maybe we should do it. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one because Ted needs to go to work. Rob Vigent versus Zurab. Ted.
What a match.
Yeah, unbelievable match. I think that a lot of people are sleeping on RVJ, and I think that he is going to pull it out. But again, I think that's hats off to you again, Ingen. I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other. I think that Rob's probably, in my head, the slight favorite. I would give him 55-45. I really do. But I again, it's slight. I think a lot of people are sleeping on what this guy can do with the proper motivation. He's a killer. He's a straight up killer, and his hand is a weapon to be sure. So I really do think that the fire's lit. I really do think the fire's lit again, and he's coming for blood. So I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. And before you start, guys, I received countless emails to be part of this podcast from you guys. I thank you very much for your attention and you're willing to be here. And so I will be back to you guys, slowly. I just read the messages and I just try to match the fans, with the possibly near. Like it's not possible to have one guy from US and one guy from Malaysia because the time zone is just like what's that, probably 12 hours. It can be even 15 hours if you consider from California. So I'm just trying to calculate everything, and then I will try to do that constantly, but just don't think that I ignore you. There are so many messages. I try to consider all of them. So don't take disrespect if I cannot reply all of them. Don't think that you are ignored or something. Never. Okay, go ahead, Marco.
I mean, I've watched Sasho beat RVJ before in a super match on Arm Wars. Do you know about that one?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. RVJ, I haven't watched him arm wrestle in a while, so I'm going to say 50-50 because I know how strong he is, just from being back in the WAL and how big and jacked. And like you said, his hand, mate, he's a savage, RVJ. I don't know why people don't like him. I don't get that.
It's because of everything off the table. It's because of everything off the table. Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff ain't the manly stuff, so that ain't the stuff I like. I like RVJ when he was when he arm wrestles. Off the table, I don't see much about him. So I know what you mean. Do you mean about the gear and the things people talking about steroids and that? No?
Let's just stay positive, but it's just the stuff on it. Yeah, it's just the other stuff.
I'm going to say 50-50 because Zurab to me is so strong that I won't give anything above. I won't take away from Zurab, but at the same time, I'm going to go 50-50.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sean Crowther, thank you for your super chat. Just a little something for the tip jar. Great way to get the fans involved and get everyone hit the like button. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, my friend. Yeah. I love it. I love talking arm wrestling. I often go and then talk with them, and then I just 2 hours I see, but but this is now better that we can 2 of them, 3 of them, 1 of them. Okay, let's go to another one. Alijan Muradov and Cody Merritt, Ted.
Man, I tell you, Cody's really strong, but I got to give it to, and how'd you pronounce his name correctly? Because I always butcher it.
Alijan Muradov.
Yeah. Okay.
Muradov.
Muratov. Muratov.
Yeah.
I have to give it to him on a slight favorite. I'm probably going to say 55 or 60-40 on that one. Cody's big and strong, but I really do believe that Muratov will pull it out. I do. But hey,
Yeah,
I hope I'm shocked. I hope I'm shocked because I want the West to win, but I hope I'm shocked.
yeah. But it's
Yeah.
very interesting, right? That 95 kilo 209 guy to be like considered to be that dangerous, right? It's just
He's
probably
the true.
maybe the pound for pound, the strongest arm wrestler on the earth, maybe.
Listen,
He's up
him
there.
and
How do you think,
Ongabayev,
Marco?
they're freaks, mate. Him and Ongabayev, they're freaks. They're freaks.
Yeah.
We love them, mate. Well, Ongabayev and Alazan are freaks. I think Alazan is going to beat Cody. I don't think Cody's going to win. He's not good enough now. He used to be, I think, but I think Alazan's too jacked up. He's too good.
I understand. And I know you need to go to work, so I'm hurrying up. Arif and Dizarano, Arif Ertem and Dizarano. Do you remember Dizarano, Ted?
I don't, to be honest with you, I don't.
You didn't watch it
Wagner,
versus five?
Wagner Brutalato.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Kazakh guy also beat Kalnishenko 3-2, and he beat Wagner Bortalato 3-2.
I tell you what, that Wagner fight, I honestly thought Wagner was going to pass out on the stage.
And do you know Arif, right? Arif?
Yes, yeah. Arif would be my default go-to. I do believe that I just think he's a better puller all around. I think he's a better puller.
What's the one shock in the world? What beats the heart?
I didn't hear that, Marco, but yeah.
Sorry,
I think,
that was my no. Sorry, that wasn't me. My uncle just loves it, and he was in the background there. Sorry.
oh, it's all right. Yeah, I think Mari or Arif takes that one, and I don't actually think that one's that close. I think Arif takes it.
I love it. I love to have this conversation with the fans. Go ahead, Marco.
Yeah, see, I love it as well. Thank you, brother. For me, Arif, I love Arif Artem, the Turk, but I'm going to give it to Georgie. From what I saw, Georgie I forgot his second name. I know him as Georgie. I think he looks too strong on his last one. So I'm only going on his last appearance. But for me, Artem has had his time, in my opinion. But that's just me. I don't know.
So you are saying that Zano is going to win?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. And let's go to another one. Brandon Alsasor versus David Samusha. Ted.
Ooh, tight one. Brandon to me is on his way up, and I think that he's got a lot of potential. Is he with? Oh, he's super strong. Is he there with David yet? I don't know.
I'm cutting you for a short time. I just saw a picture of Brandon, and then he said that without the water loss, he has 9 pounds to lose. He did not look any smaller than what I saw him last time. If you would ask me, I would just say that he got bigger, Go ahead.
Yeah. His training's on point. From what I hear, he's motivated as hell. He's strong. I don't know if you've been training with him at all, Paul. I haven't gotten a chance to meet him, but I know he's on point. And I really do believe that he's the favorite, but not by much. I'm going to say 55-45, 60-40 at the most. But I think that it depends on what version of David shows up as well, because there's a couple of different versions that I've seen of David so far. And if the aggressive, just don't take a step back version shows up, it could be a really long day for Brandon.
Yeah. And before you start,
For me,
Marco, I was gonna.
For me, David Shumicha, he's the champion. I'm going to go with the vote.
Marco, I want to say something before. It's funny, something funny. Whenever I do this kind of podcast with the athletes, elite level athletes, I always have to remind what's the percentage of you giving to each side. But whenever I do this with the fans who have been already following, without me asking, they are telling 55, 45, 60. They know already, It's good. Yeah.
I watch all the live streams, bro. Love it. For me, David Shumicha, he's too good. To me, I don't think. I want to see someone do better against him, but at the moment, I'm going to say favorite is David Shumicha. I'm going to stick with David, the Georgian.
Mm-hmm. So you are saying that, yeah. The thing is that it is not that easy to hook. I know that Craig Tuller has incredible hooking ability, not because of only his wrist, but he just like boom, jumps, and the hits so great, And then whenever I saw Craig couldn't hook Brandon, and then like I was like, what if David cannot hook him? And if David cannot hook him, the match is gonna go to the endurance with an advantageous position for Brandon. And Brandon is also known with his great endurance that we saw against uh, Craig. So maybe Paul Linn would have an opinion about this one, but how you see? But
Well, I mean,
Brandon,
I trained with Brandon. I pulled Brandon in competitions over the years. And one thing I can say about the guy is when you talk about like professionalism and like obsession, he's totally 100% obsessed. From the
Yes.
day I met him, he is like laser-like focused, chasing people and
Yeah,
chasing the next thing. And he's willing to do anything. So like when you say, oh, can he make the weight cut? Yes, he can make the weight cut. This guy will die trying to make the weight cut. And oh, by the way, he's gonna walk in huge. He's like Rob. He's all upper body. He's got like the upper body of a 242 guy and like the legs of a 176 guy. So when he cuts that weight, he's still gonna look huge. And when he recovers, it's all up here. And like Engin's saying, he'll die on the table trying to win. If he can get a stop, it's gonna be really, really good. So really, it's going to come down to that. Now, I saw some pictures of DeVete too, where DeVete is looking thick and full. I saw a picture with him and Gennady and another guy. He's looking good too.
Yeah.
But I think those are the factors that are going to play into this one. We know Brandon's going to bring his best form. This is a Super Bowl for him. He's going to leave it. He's going to leave no rock unturned. So is DeVete going to bring that same level, or is he going to underestimate him?
I think David, it's his home, that table's his home. I think, it's a good one though. I can't wait, mate. What a good match.
Okay, let's go to the Laletin Tobias, Ted.
Laletin. I got to go with Laletin, especially after the war that he had with David or Dave Chafee. I got to go with Laletin on that one. I don't know. I think he's got so many weapons and so many natural attributes with his height and his explosivity, and the fact that we've seen now that he will go to the red line to the point where he had to be carried out to the hospital. I think that he's the favorite in that one. So I'm going to go 65-35. I think he's a favorite in that one.
Yeah, that's very fair there. Ted's hit that. I think I'm very similar. But for Vitaly, for me, I'm a bit biased. He's one of my favourite arm wrestlers. Yeah. He's got a lot of videos, like I explained before, showing his training, showing his personality. And Vitaly is he's an animal, mate. I think the Dave Chafee match could have gone either way. He's easily as strong. So for me, in my opinion, I don't know what his left hand's like. And that's the only problem, because Tobias Sporong, his left hand, he's a savage. So it's going to be a very good match. But I'm going with exactly what Ted said. I'm going to say 65-35 for Vitaly.
Okay, let's go to Dave Chafee and Revas.
Yeah, there's a coin flip if I've ever heard one. I mean, raw horsepower, I got to go with Dave, but Revas is just, I mean, he's got just as much. I mean, it's like putting two tanks in the same freaking spot and just saying, create a supernova in between your hands. I mean, it's incredible. I don't know. I think Dave's newfound versatility might play a part in it and put it in Dave's favor, but man, I really couldn't go 50-50. I couldn't go above 50-50 on either way. I really couldn't. And I love Dave Chafee. I do, but I don't think I could go above 50-50.
Well said, mate. I'm very similar, but I'm a bit different. I mean, my uncle's here. We love Revas. For some reason, Revas, we love him. I mean, recently he just curled 150 kilo with Gennady.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Did you guys see that video?
He's been, yeah, exactly. I mean, Artem had a good match with him, and that's the only thing. Revas has had a bit of a back step, but for me, he's an animal. So it's going to be such a good match. But I'm going to give it to Dave, I'm going to go with Chafe just because he's an OG and he's just, I don't know, man. He's just, Dave Chafe, bro. He's Dave. So, yeah, I'm going to go 55-50 for Chafee.
I mean, can
all love to Revas,
mate. Can we comfortably say that this guy, Dave Chafee, has the strongest side pressure in the
I
world.
agree. I wholeheartedly, I agree.
The problem is if the match is gonna stop after it touches pad or somewhere here, because
Yeah.
sometimes the last 2 inches or 5 centimeter becoming problematic, and also sometimes the endurance is play the game, But now he has the ability. If the match starts, he quickly goes and
Yep.
switches to shoulder pressure.
Yeah.
And if that would be the case, can Revas handle that?
I don't think
Revas.
Ravaz can handle a full-on shoulder press from Dave. I don't. But
No,
it's a matter.
We will see. We
Yeah.
still learn.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is guess. It may be true, but we may see something that we learn. Like, okay,
Listen,
we are four
Ravaz is
guys
gonna
here. Four
Ravaz
guys.
is gonna slip on the first round, and then we'll see who's stronger.
Who would guess what the way that Hermes
Oh,
trouble
shit.
Levan?
No,
Like,
never.
we learn something new, right? We learn something new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm just saying that who would guess that Dave Sheffield would flop risk Vitaly? We
Nobody.
didn't know that. We didn't see before. I mean, at least I didn't. I don't remember. So what I'm just saying is we may learn something new. And then let's go to the next one. 2 more matches. Irakli versus Ongarbayev. I think this is
I think this is the best match on your card. I really do. I think this is the best match on your card. It's so hard to call because Irakli now has that flop wrist of his own that he found. Ungarbayev is one of the most patient and mature young arm wrestlers out there, and technically just unbelievable.
Yeah, sure. How old is Ungarbayev? Is he young?
Well, younger.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm 43. Everybody's young.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's in his 30s, right? I mean, he's
Okay.
So
probably like either 28, 29 or 30, probably somewhere there.
So
my opinion, I don't know exactly.
I think he's one of the most technically sound and mature younger arm wrestlers out there, period. Like pound for pound out there, period. And then you got Irakli, who has world-class back pressure. And now if he does lose his wrist, which is a possibility against Ungarbayev, that he does lose his wrist. If he loses his wrist, he can go into a full-on flop press. So I don't know. Like this one is the same thing, man. Like 49-51 either way. It's crazy. Such a good match. Such a good match.
I agree with Ted. It's one of the best matches on the card, but I disagree that it's going to be close. I think Ongarbayev's just going to ruin it. I think.
Really?
I think, in my opinion, I think Irakli's a hand person where his hand's very strong and his bicep. But for me, Ongarbayev is an all-round. I don't know. I want him to shock me, Irakli, because I love Irakli. He's a young, upcoming Georgian. I love him. I've got I love all the arm wrestlers, like I said, but Ongarbayev, he's a different kettle of fish, mate. When you watch Irakli and John Bazink, for example, it was a savage match, but Ongarbayev made John Bazink look, after a couple of rounds, made him look weak. So I don't know.
Yeah, but John was sick.
Ongarbayev, very strong.
John was sick for that match, though, where he just gotten over being sick. So there was a lot of, there was a lot in the tank that went bad on that one, because if you look at round one, John made Ungarbayev look like an amateur arm wrestler. I mean,
I agree, but I think Ongarbayev gave him a bit of, because Ongarbayev don't waste any energy, in my opinion.
Right. Agreed. No, agreed.
But yeah, I agree with you. John Bazink was not 100%. So yeah, I mean, that's a factor there. So yeah, great match, but I'm going to give it to Ongarbayev by 70%.
Okay, Paul, I want to hear this one from you as well.
I see Ungarbayev as a favorite.
Is it because all about the better control?
No, I'm just like I'm looking at Irakli as Irakli having a lot of room to grow, and Ungarbayev being already there. I just think that Ungarbayev is so impressive, not only with his physical ability, but like with his mental fortitude. Like against Michael Todd, to me that was like watching ice dancing, the way he arm wrestled. It was incredible. His comfortability in weird positions, his ability to maintain his wrist against Michael's clean move and not
Marco,
really-
can you close the turn off the sound when you are talking, because we cannot hear.
Sorry, man, I'm going to stop there. It's just my battery's running low, but I thought there was a charger, but there isn't. It's fine. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. What's the Paul?
Yeah, I think this has the making to be a really good match. And I'm gonna root for Irakli because I really like the Georgians. But I see him as an underdog, and I hope he takes that stance. I know those guys in Georgia are training like savages, so I'm hoping he brings like another level. But I do see Angarbayev as a distinct favorite.
And Irakli, for Irakli, this is dream.
This is it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is dream. This is the opportunity. But I will tell you something about Angarbayev. Whenever I watch Angarbayev, I just see a live arm wrestling lesson.
Yes.
The way that he arm wrestled against Michael Todd, I was like I can't think anything smarter than this, just like beyond the limits, like everything that Michael is incredible. Michael is so knowledgeable, everything, but he countered, everything that Michael did, he countered, and he never pulled someone like, and then from the first time, he was already prepared, and he already, you may be prepared, but performance is different thing. He performed also very well. And let's go to the Devin versus Gennady. This is the last match. And
yeah, I mean, obviously, I came out the gate telling you that Devin was, my guy. He's my favorite arm wrestler. But I think that this is, besides Levon, I think this is the toughest match that he's had to face thus far. Gennady's raw horsepower, his energy, his style, everything is going to be a problem. But Devin's newfound mentality of simplifying everything to just the rise and fighting for the high ground and understanding that the high ground is not just a top roll. It could be in a hook. It could be in a press. As long as you control the high ground, you control the match. It doesn't matter where you are, inside, outside, doesn't matter. So, man, I tell you, do I believe that he's only training his thumb? No, but I do like the mentality that, he said he's done lifting weights. It's going to be a lot of table time, a lot of endurance. And I think that's the right way for Devin. I think we're going to see, that open top roll / King's move round one. Absolutely. I think that's absolutely going to be the case. I think that he's going to try to climb over the top of Gennady's hand, but Gennady has a textbook on how to beat a King's move. We saw that against Michael Todd. So, I mean, it's going to be a difficult match. I still have Devin being the favorite. I think it's going to be 65-35 Devin. But I really do believe that the opening couple of matches are going to really push Devin to the limit. But Devin's the new generation, besides Levon. Okay. Before anybody gives me hate in the chat, besides Levon, Devin is the king of arm wrestling in this generation. I really do believe that, as far as technical ability, mindset, warrior mentality, all of it. I really do believe that Devin is the complete package.
Well, well said, mate. Everything there, well said. I'm going to go with, because like you say, I can't really go against Devin. So I'm going to go 55 Devin, 45 Gennady. But I have to rate Gennady because I've always loved him, mate. He brings the energy, he brings the strength. It's a very good match engine, very good match. I hope that what happens similar to the Prutnik, I think Gennady might have the good first round. I know they didn't give him the pin when he went with Devin, but I think he'll have a first round, but then I think Devin's going to beat him. I think it's going to be 3-1 Devin.
Okay, and Paul, you shared during your own, but
I love this match. I love it.
How do you see?
So when I'm basing a lot of my opinion on this off of Devin's respect for Gennady. The things that Devin's saying, like, he like when it comes down to the come down, he's saying like this is going to be the hardest match. This could be the hardest match of my life. So Devin is seeing something that maybe we're missing. I think Devin brings a favorite as far as endurance, but Gennady's also way up there. And I think what makes this interesting is the advantages that Devin was able to gain psychologically against Prudnik. I think was a big factor.
Absolutely. Yep.
And I don't think that he's going to be able to gain those footholds against Gennady.
Nope.
I just think, number one, there's a language barrier, and number two, I don't think if there wasn't a language barrier, I don't think he'd buy into it.
Gennady has too strong of a mind for that.
I got to meet those guys, the Georgians, a couple times and hang out with them. I really like them, and I really think Gennady's he's a warrior. He's a warrior.
Strong in the head.
I think if Devin gets a stop in any of the first 3 rounds, he probably wins the match. But there is a strong possibility that we see possibly the best Devin Larratt match yet.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
I it's a slight favorite, but we're talking about a 49-51. I think it's really going to be good. And I mean,
okay. When you guys said that 35, 45, 49 for Gennady, is it representing the difficulty of the match, or is it representing that there is a possibility that Gennady actually can win that?
I think that there's a possibility that he can. I think that he's got enough raw horsepower, and I think that he's got enough drive and mental fortitude to be able to dismantle Devin. But I mean, look, again, complete bias. I'm a Devin fanboy. Okay. To dismantle Devin is probably the hardest thing to do in arm wrestling today. To dismantle all of his weapons is probably the hard, and all of his tricks. Let's be honest, all of his tricks and all of his weapons and all of his prowess and all of that. Not to mention the dude's pretty strong. To dismantle that complete package is probably one of, if not the toughest thing to do in arm wrestling today. And the only person to do it completely to date is Levon. That's the only person to do it completely. Now, has there been chinks? Sure. Chinks in Devin's armor? Absolutely. But to do it completely, to completely dismantle Devin, there's only one person on the planet to do it so far, and that was Levon.
Yeah. And you really need to, I mean, you said that Devin respects Gennady so much. That's true. But did you see, Paul, what Devin said to Gennady? I said, Devin, do you really think that Gennady will give up? He said, even if he doesn't give up, he will be so helpless that he will be like a cow that all 4 legs cut him and just moving like this. There's no connection. He can't do anything. So after Gennady heard about this, Gennady said that he made this very personal. And then he said that Devin is in trouble. In short, Yeah. So, and then let's go to the last one, and you guys see. I understand, as far as I understand, Paul underdog, but Paul Linn versus Sasha.
Paul Linn 60-40. Now, I mean, look, he knows it's going to be a tough fight. He knows that. Sasha's a great match for Paul, stylistically as well as a test. Paul, you're the champion, brother. You've got the target on your back, and you're going to be bringing all of the best to your doorstep. I've got nothing but faith in you, brother. I really do believe that you've got it. I believe that you've got a lot of growing to do as far as, in your journey. And I think that we've only seen kind of the tip of what Paul Linn's going to bring. And for that, I'm excited as hell. I really am. I think you've done a lot of maturing. Don't get me wrong. That wasn't a dig. I think that you just have a long trajectory, and a nice, good trajectory left to go. So I'm very excited to see where you do go, man. And I'm a really big fan of yours. I really am. So
thank you, Ted. I appreciate it, man. But if you want me to win, go ahead and switch that prediction to 90-10 underdog. That's what I
All need. Right, 90-10 underdog. Paul's going to get crushed.
Yeah.
He hates it. I know. I will. Okay, I'm an organizer. I was gonna say something like heavily Sasha, prediction, but just to motivate him. But yeah, no. Go ahead, Marco.
Thank you, Engine. I'm sorry. No, I'm not actually, because you don't mind, do you, Paul? But I'm going to go 50-50 because, like I said, I've only seen very good things about Sasho, Paul, and I need you to win for me, bro, but I'm going to go 50-50, but I really want you to win, man. You're the better ref. To me, you're the package, man. You're the champ. Come on, man. I agree with what Ted, everything he said, man. Except from where he said you've got a lot of room, the journey goes up. I think you're at the top there. The only thing you've got to do is keep getting stronger, bro, and that's what you're doing. So, honestly, Paul, man, kill it for me, bro. 50-50.
I'm gonna do my best. There's some data out there, Marco. There's some interesting matches out there.
You know, this guy, I know him. I know Paul. I talk a lot with him. I also have been witnessed in what he does. This guy is mentally very, very strong.
Yeah.
This guy is very strong mentally. He was losing against Samusha. He won the first round against Samusha, then lost 2 rounds. Yeah. And I thought that, you know, he would be down or something, you know, and personally, I thought he was over, you know. He just went there and beat him 2 more rounds and then won 3-2. So if he's breathing, there is a hope. You know, this guy will never give up. For sure.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Engin,
no,
I gotta
finish it. Yeah.
Okay.
The period says that the Devon that beat Prudnik facing Gennady now. Do you guys think is better than Devon that beat Andrei Pushkar and John Burzing in the past? Yeah, Devon beat Pushkar with left arm, and I don't know that's I don't know what this is. Okay,
it's so hard to say because Devon has gotten so much more, as he would say, devious and so much more knowledge in the last 15 years. So I mean, I would say that you would have to say that yes, he's better, and his high hook has returned to him. So there you go. I mean, he's got the stability back in his elbow now, so he can pull inside now. He couldn't do that for over a decade.
Yeah, well said, man.
We will see. We will see. Anyways, guys, Ted, thank you very much. I know you need to go to work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Marco. It was an honor. And Paul Linn, thank you very, very much, my friend, for being with our fans. You know, that these are the guys that are making everything possible, and we appreciate what they are doing. Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
God bless
How
you,
about
Paul.
the all the double bicep? Yeah.
Yeah, the little puny ones. My little puny ones. There you go.
Come on. Yes, Marco. Yes.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care, Marco. Take care, Ted and Paul.
Thank you.
God bless.